Let's fill out a Colorado prenuptial agreement together and check off every legal requirement as we go. This is Colorado's prenuptial agreement, the contract a couple signs before marrying to set their own financial rules. On the right is everything Colorado asks of it. This is a contract between two people planning to marry, made ahead of the marriage and effective when it happens. A marital agreement is the version for spouses who plan to stay married, affirming, changing, or waiving a marital right or duty. People in a civil union, or planning one, can make the same kind of agreement, carrying the same rights and duties. The agreement has to be in writing, and that is the document in front of you. Start with the effective date, the day the couple plans to sign before their wedding. Type the month, day, and year here. Signing does not switch it on, it takes effect when the marriage happens. This one takes effect when both sign it, not on a marriage. If the marriage turns out to be void, the agreement holds only as far as needed to avoid an unfair result. The clock on any claim under the agreement is paused while the couple stays married. Next, enter each prospective spouse's name and mailing address, exactly as they will appear on the signed pages. The agreement calls them Prospective Spouse 1 and Prospective Spouse 2, names carried through the signature block and the schedules ahead. Neither person owes the other any payment or promise for this to hold. The marriage itself is the exchange. Each person has to sign it of their own free will. An agreement someone did not sign voluntarily does not hold against them. If the agreement is challenged, state law looks at whether each person had access to their own lawyer, as it defines that access. Further down, a clause names which state's law governs the agreement and which state's courts would hear a dispute. This is a Colorado agreement, so both blanks say Colorado. The couple can pick which law governs the agreement. The attached schedule lists each person's finances. Spouse 1's copy shows a bank account, a car, and some jewelry as examples. State law sets how each person discloses what they own and owe, and what happens to the agreement if they do not. State law spells out adequate disclosure, a reasonably accurate description, and a good faith estimate of the value of the other person's property, debts, and income. Spouse 2's copy follows the identical layout, with a different sample balance, vehicle, and valuable item. A term about maintenance, or about waiving or allocating attorney fees, fails only so far as it is unconscionable when someone goes to enforce it. The agreement closes with a signature line and a dated line for each spouse. None of this affects the rights of someone who bought property in good faith for value. Both people have to sign it, so neither page stands alone. The court decides whether the agreement is unconscionable, and it decides it as a question of law. Nothing in here shortchanges a child's right to support. A term that limits a remedy state law gives a victim of domestic violence is not enforceable. A term about who cares for a child does not bind the court. Fill out your own prenuptial agreement free at FormsPal, no sign-up required.